So as we kind of wind down the conversation here, I mean, you've kind of had this awesome career seeing additive in different states, big companies, small companies, academia. What are you excited about? I mean, you kind of mentioned the laser stuff, but like from an industry perspective, like and where you sit, kind of what are you excited about for the coming year or kind of years in terms of additive manufacturing and even kind of people who are thinking about, hey, like is this technology going to be around? Is this kind of a flash in the pan type of thing? Like, what are some of the things that as someone has experienced as yourself in the technology and seeing the trends and kind of seeing where it's going? What would you advise as kind of like, hey, this is going to be a thing that sticks around, and this is a big reason why.
I'm super bullish on the technology. Well, you know, it's just going to get more ubiquitous. I mean, that's the thing. Again, like thinking back, you know, where there just were all these questions about quality stuff, and now it just feels like we sort of answered a lot of those questions. I think my prediction is, oh, I remember one anecdote. It was one of the first things I did when I was at RP plus M. I'll never forget. I did this panel. It was like this supply chain XM bank panel, and I had one of the president of the company was with me, and I was doing this panel, and we had a whole bunch of like senior folks. There was like EOS and GE and a few people on this panel. It was like somebody asked a question: how big is this industry going to be? This was in 2013. And like nobody wanted to step up to bat and like say anything. I was like, well, and this former colleague of mine still gives me a hard time about this. It was like, I go, well, like casting's $120 billion industry. Additive's going to be at least 10 or 20% of that. It's going to be like $20 billion in like the next 10 years. And you would have thought like, I was like, I didn't think it was that controversial. Everybody's like, whoa, because like, you know, looking back, it all makes sense, right? But like you stack a 20% CAGR on like an $800 million, billion-dollar industry over 10 years. Like that's a lot of growth. And so like for me now, where I get excited is like some of this technology stuff that's been incubating for a long time is going to come to fruition. Like we're going to have mass produce like million part number parts in metal using binder jetting for automotive. That's going to happen in the next 5 years. I have no doubt in my mind. Like we're going to have 10 to 100x speed metal laser powder bed fusion in certain alloy systems in the next 5 years. I have no doubt. There's too many smart people working on it. And then you have this whole thing like the exact metal guys where they're selling a machine for 60 grand. So then you have this whole other end of the market that never existed before for the tool and die shops. So now it's just that much more democratized. Like that's coming. Like there's no doubt. So if those things are coming, you know, we just across the street, and we're going to be writing this up later on the summer. OSU has a big partnership with Engie and Siemens Energy. We just installed 2 new Siemens SGT 700 combined heat and power gas turbines. The way that you get to burning renewable hydrogen is with additive. You can't do it any other way. So literally the getting off fossil fuels to clean energy transition now is going to be like is enabled today through metal printing. And then you go to that corollary, if I make it 100 times faster, how much more impact can I make? And then you just go down like all the jet engine stuff. Like there are people out there like there will be jet engines that are going to be everything but the turbine blades are going to be 3D printed. Like it's coming. Maybe the discs. So like the disc, the shaft, the blades, those are going to be cast and forged. Everything else is going to be 3D printed. Right? Like that's going to happen. That will happen. That's probably going to be 10 years because aerospace takes too long. But look at the space stuff. Look at what these guys are doing on these small rockets. It's freaking incredible.
Yeah.
And then I haven't even talked about like all the healthcare stuff. Like that's not coming. Like people don't necessarily realize what's out there. Like we're doing a lot of work. My colleague Kyle Van Koevering, who's a head and neck surgeon in the OSU James Cancer Center, like the level of impact Like they're saving hours of operating room time with polymer planing models that we're printing today with like Materialize and Stratasys commercial off the shelf equipment. And then you forecast that into the future of taking the cost out, making it more ubiquitous, working with the supply chain to do the Ti-6-4 printed implants, which they're already doing some of today, but like that's in its infancy. Like, again, it's one of these things where like it's happening enough that I know it's going to be ubiquitous. We take out 90% of the cost. Like that's going to change healthcare. That's going to change orthopedic surgery. That's going to change reconstruction after cancer. And it's literally going to be higher performance, better patient outcomes, and we're going to make it cheaper. Like, dude, that's freaking incredible. That's going to happen. There's no doubt. Like, I've seen enough of it. It's not just like evangelizing. Like, that's coming.
Absolutely.
And it's coming fast.